They may all get eaten by slugs and snails, but if I figure if I bung enough seeds in there, they'll be okay. Alright guys, guess what I'm doing again today? Waterblasting! I wasn't going to do water blasting today, but then it's Friday and I figured I better do the carport while Steve's ute isn't here, because otherwise we have to move all the vehicles out of the way, and it's better just to get that done now. So I've moved everything out of the carport and that's ready to do now. Later yesterday, after finishing out the front of the house, I thought I'd just do the front of the porch, but as it goes, a little bit always turns into more and more, because you see all the icky stuff blasting off and it looks so much better, and you just keep going, and it's looking a lot better. I couldn't get all the icky bits in the joins and the roof, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to go do the carport now and see how we go. I forgot to take the camera out with me, but there was water flowing everywhere since I did the whole carport, including the roof, so that took a while, but it's a big improvement. There's been a lot of water blasting going on. So far I've water blasted the front fence and gate, most of the house. I've done the porch and I've done the carport, whole carport out the front, including the ground. Angus wanted to do some pressure washing, so he started on, there's this fence out close to the deck, and between our deck and the apple tree and the washing line, kind of a bit of a privacy or shelter fence, I guess, which we were meaning to do something with that, but we haven't quite got there, so we're just stripping off the black stain that was on there for now anyway, and it looks so much nicer. We haven't finished. I jumped in and started finishing off this side, one side of it, but it looks heaps better already, just having the light wood close to the house. It's just a lot lighter and warmer, and it just kind of blends in with everything a bit better. We've still got plenty of things to to water blast, and I was looking into it because I was thinking about whether it would be a good idea for us to actually have one, and I didn't realise that water blasters use significantly less water than actually just blasting the hose on jet, which is what I do for like cleaning the chicken coop and other bits and pieces every now and again. Apparently the average hose uses about 30 litres a minute. You'd have to test your own one, I don't know. And water blasters generally around 5 to 7-ish for like the electric ones. Not petrol powered ones would be different, but like a quarter of the amount or less than what a hose uses, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I'm using a lot of water doing pressure spraying and doing it for hours. I don't know how many hours this week I've spent doing it, but I guess it's just the power of compressed air pushing out tiny drops of water at high speed. So I'm actually thinking it would be good for us to get a water blaster now. I've already decided which one I want to get, and try and use that when we can for cleaning the coop or other things. It would just be good to have as an option. and especially in the hotter months when we're not getting much rain and we need to save water. Anyway, I need to take a break from water blasting for now while I catch up on some other things. We're going to try and get some pumpkin or squash seeds and cucumber seeds started in the veggie garden. Usually I start them on wet or moist paper towels inside Ziploc plastic bags in the hot water cupboard. Just because it helps them to germinate. I can see which ones are germinating, and then I put the ones that have grown a root into individual small pots and start them that way. I may still do that. I'm going to try. They always grow better in the ground if they can start in the ground themselves, but here they usually get eaten by slugs and snails, so I think if I just try planting quite a lot, I don't know, I know there are lots of slugs and snails out there, so I was supposed to do them a week and a half ago, but maybe I'll just bung some in the ground anyway because I've got plenty of seeds, and we'll see what happens. So before I start, I'm going to add some blood and bone to the garden beds. This is Yates Thrive Natural Blood and Bone, which is a BioGrow certified input. I pretty much only buy organic fertilisers and things for my garden and my seedlings because that's important to me. Just because something says natural doesn't mean usually means it's not all natural.
It's a spider!
Yeah, things often say natural based or they have natural things in them, but that doesn't account for what makes up the rest of them. And even like things like compost, chemicals can be used to make the compost and make it compost faster if it's not organic. So I will also put some dolomite lime in with the cucumbers because that definitely seems to help them to grow. Seeds gone. Birds or something have been eating it. Well, I might as well pull it out. And go in the compost. I'm going to put that in the compost. Right, where are we? Yeah. So I got butternut and Chuck's winter squash seeds planted yesterday. I planted 2 seeds in each hole and 2 holes at each end of the 2 beds where I planted the butternuts. And I think I just planted like 5 Chuck's winter squash seeds in the bed that they're in, and we'll see what happens. I've actually just watered the beds this morning because we haven't had any rain for a bit, even though we were supposed to. The rain keeps moving further away on the forecast, which is why I've been wanting to get the water blasting done now while we have or had a full tank, because in the summer we don't get so much rain. I had to water the garden because the parts that weren't covered with mulch were getting a little bit dry, and I wanted to water in the seeds as well. So we'll see how they go. I'm kind of expecting that they may all get eaten by slugs and snails, but I figure if I bung enough seeds in there, they'll be okay. Otherwise I'll just have to germinate them and pot them up, which I'm trying to avoid using more potting mix because that's another issue right now. So I usually use Dalton's organic seed raising mix, which is my favourite, and I've talked through issues with other ones that I had last year that I tried out. And I've been using Dalton's potting mix as well, which was better than other ones that I tried, organic ones. The last time I went to Bunnings, again, there was no organic Dalton's anything. They had plenty of just stuff that's not organic, but the organic ones are what I want. So I don't know what's going on there, if they've stopped producing it or if they just don't have it available at Bunnings. I'll have to look into it. But the thing is, the Dalton's potting mix that I have, the bag that I've been using, is what I potted up my tomato seedlings in, and unfortunately they have not done very well. So that's not good. That's the potting mix, not the seed raising mix. If I just potted them up in the seed raising mix, they would be doing great, I imagine. But I was trying to not use too much of it because the seed raising mix is smaller bags. For some reason they've been struggling in the potting mix, so I've given them a couple of feeds of sea sol, which is a liquid seaweed fertiliser. Well, at least some of them are looking better than they were, so I still need to tend to them a bit more. But I don't know, I'm just trying to avoid using potting mixes if I can at the moment, because I'll have to find some more from elsewhere. Anyway, I need to get the cucumber and gherkin seeds into the ground now, so I'm going to go get that done. Bung some sunflower seeds in there now too. And some watermelons, even though those never work well for me. These ones are ones I saved myself, so we'll see. I've sowed sunflower seeds underneath where some of the stakes are, the metal stakes or standards. I've got red ones, yellow ones and white ones. I put two seeds in each kind of spot where I want them to give them more chance. I put a couple in there and a couple down there because it was really nice having them there last season. I've sown a whole bunch of gherkin cucumber seeds along here, half of this bed up to the post is gherkins. It's probably maybe slightly more than half. Oh no, it is pretty much half. 22 seeds I think it was, which is a lot, but I planted them fairly close together so that more survive hopefully. And then most of the other half was tender green cucumbers. 11 seeds of those because that was all I had in that particular packet. I have got more if I need them, but we don't need so many of those. And then I put some watermelon sugar baby seeds that I'd saved from one small melon that we got one year. I put some down the end of the cucumber bed and then some along this other bed where the Chuck's winter squash are down here along the fence too. So we'll just wait and see how all of those things survive. We're not getting much in the way of carrots popping up in this bed yet because it did get a little bit dry. Hopefully it'll do better now that I've watered it, but we have got plenty of calendulas popping up, and also pak choy. I think most of those little ones will be pak choy because I left them to go to seed in there. These carrots over here are germinating pretty well now, except the weeds are too, so I'll just have to deal with all the weeds. I have been pulling some of the little weeds out. I planted a bunch of lettuce seedlings along here, but the birds have been just about annihilating them, so I did put this cover over some of them yesterday. At least those ones are slightly less annihilated now, but a whole bunch of little lettuces, a whole row planted closely together, and the birds have just been chomping on them. I want to sow I want to sow sunflowers in the tomato row out in the front plot here too, along these posts, but I need to weed that row first, otherwise the seeds might just get disturbed. and I need to finish dealing with that row. You can see what a mess the birds have made with this row, even though I put a few little things on there. They've been scratching out all along the edge. This is where, look, there's a carrot. It's alive. Yay! Okay, well that's nice to see. Oh, look, there are more. They're actually working, despite the birds' efforts to thwart them and the mulch, which I wasn't sure they'd get through. Thanks to the birds and the wind scratching the mulch all over my furrows. How did that move? Oh, I don't know, but I'm glad that some of them are doing okay. Yay! Yay! Go little plants! Not sure about the parsnips. The parsnips, did I do 2 rows? Yeah, along there. I don't see any parsnips popping up yet. That's calendula. And those are weeds. Potatoes are popping up all in their row, so that's good. The crazy, crazy seed potatoes. And we've got these last 2 broccoli plants. That one is a purple sprouting broccoli, and that must be one of the green broccolis. Really late to the game. Those are a couple of the stunted seedlings. So I've just left them to see if they'll do anything before the potatoes overtake them. The potatoes in this row were planted later. I don't see any of them popping up yet, but they have got a thick layer of mulch on them too. Oh yes, another cauliflower's ready. Yay! Oh look, this little purple sprouting broccoli is coming to the party finally. It's just a mixture of things going to seed and things that are, actually useful in here. It has been a bit nibbled, but we can take that. There are still a few cauliflowers that aren't quite there yet. These ones are a bit smaller here. And what are these broccolis? Oh, those are self-sown ones. I didn't plant those. That's getting huge. Oh, that's interesting. We'll see how those go. They're very tall. So they might do something, or they might bolt pretty quickly. And then I've got to pull out the rest of the ones that have gone to seed and the rest of the weeds. Kale is going to seed all over the place too. So some of that will need to come out. Oh look, there's one potato. Yay, one potato in this row has come up. Hello. Thanks for joining us in today's vlog, guys. Choose to grow hope, and we'll see you next time. Bye.